If you're trying to figure out which CRM is best for your roofing business, which one is going to help you quote jobs faster, schedule crews easier, and stay organized, and actually get you paid on time, this video is going to break down all of that. We're going to look at the top 4 business management softwares that are helping roofers in 2025. QuoteIQ, Jobber, Housecall Pro, and Markate. We're going to start by breaking down what features they all have in common. Then we're going to move into the real differences that separate these softwares. And finally, we're going to compare their pricing, integrations, and their overall value to see which ones truly make sense for your business based on your specific needs and your team size. So by the end of this video, you'll know exactly where your money's best spent, which tools you actually need in the field, and which ones just look good on paper, and ultimately which software you should choose for your business. And to give this comparison some structure, I'm going to assign a winner at the end of each section, making a very clear visual on which CRM has the most to offer for your business. So which CRM is actually going to give roofers the tools they need to quote faster, schedule smarter, and close more jobs without wasting any time? Let's find out. We're going to look at this in 3 different ways. First, we're going to look at what all 4 CRMs do the same. Then we're going to look at the differences between the softwares. And then finally, we're going to look at the exclusive tools that make each one stand out from each other. So let's start with the basics. Things that every CRM on this list, QuoteIQ, Jobber, Housecall Pro, and Markate, they can help you send quotes, send invoices, schedule jobs, and get paid. Those are the core fundamentals of a CRM. So whatever software you use, those should be fundamental core pieces of it. But all 4 softwares have some version of a customer database. So you can store client information, job notes, and payment history all in one place. Each one accepts online payments, connects to your mobile app, and offers reporting tools to see how your business is performing. These are fundamental features, and honestly, if a CRM didn't have it, it would not be in this video. So let's talk about quoting and invoicing features next. Every CRM can technically build a quote and send an invoice, but how fast you can do it and how automated it is and how much you can actually handle from the field varies a lot. Markate gives you basic quoting. You can enter line items, send a digital estimate, and collect a payment once the job is done. But there's no real automation or advanced options. You can't set up automatic follow-ups, you can't upsell services inside the quote, and you can't track approvals easily. It works, but it's very basic. Jobber's quoting system is smoother than Markate's, but to get full functionality, things like automatic quote follow-ups, upsell options, and digital signatures, you're gonna need to upgrade to their Grow plan or higher, which runs at around $200 a month for solo operators. Housecall Pro's quoting tools fall right in the middle. You can build estimates, convert them to invoices, and even consumer financing, which can help on larger jobs or commercial projects. But again, you'll need at least the essential plans, which is $100 to $200 per month to get access to more advanced automation and integrations. And then there's QuoteIQ's quoting and invoicing system, which is available on every single plan starting at $29 a month. You can send estimates instantly from your phone, including detailed descriptions, line items, photos, collect e-signatures, and convert those quotes to invoices very quickly. QuoteIQ also includes instant payouts, so funds hit your account within minutes, not days, and tip collection is built into the checkout process, which is something that business owners love because it helps crews earn more and keeps morale high. Now let's go on to follow-ups and automations. This is what separates a modern CRM from a basic one. Markate doesn't have any built-in automation. Everything is either manual or requires a paid add-on. Housecall Pro and Jobber both offer automated quote reminders and follow-up messages, but only on their higher paid plans. QuoteIQ includes text and email automations on its $98 a month tier, so if a customer forgets to reply to an estimate, the system follows up automatically until they respond. That alone can mean thousands of dollars in recovered jobs every single month, and you don't have to pay extra. It's built inside QuoteIQ and included on their Pro plan. So let's talk about online booking, and I love this feature so much. Every CRM markets some form of it, but what they mean by online booking is not the same thing. Jobber and Housecall Pro both let customers schedule appointments from your website after they've received the standard estimate. And Markate offers a similar option, but they do charge a $10 a month monthly add-on, which does not make sense. QuoteIQ takes this feature to the next level. You can let your customer schedule your appointment after they've accepted your quote, but QuoteIQ also includes 2 different types of self-servicing tools. InstaQuote and InstaSchedule. These 2 features are going to make you want to buy QuoteIQ alone just for these features. InstaQuote will let your customers quote themselves directly from your website or your social media or just the link. They choose their services, interior, exterior, cabinets, ceilings, or trim. They fill out their information, and then they get an instant estimate based on your preset pricing. So once they see the price from that quote, InstaSchedule lets them book their own time slots instantly on your calendar. So this means your customers can go to your website, get a quote for your home services, business and then get scheduled on your calendar without you having to do anything at all. That is crazy value to me, and it's included in QuoteIQ's $189 a month tier, which also unlocks every single feature on QuoteIQ, which just proves how much value that the QuoteIQ $189 Elite tier has. There is no other CRM that includes anything like this natively. Jobber and Housecall Pro can achieve similar results if you pay for a responsive bid integration, but that will be an additional $300 a month on top of your existing Jobber or Housecall Pro subscriptions, and you're also managing two separate platforms instead of one, which just gets way too complicated for me. So that's why I like QuoteIQ, because it has InstaQuote and InstaSchedule completely built in. But now let's talk about review management, because everyone knows how important your Google business profile is and your online listing is, because they're everything to a service business in 2025. Markate does offer some automated review requests, but again, it is an add-on for another $10 a month. Jobber and Housecall Pro both have systems that can send review links after jobs, but they're very basic and not fully automated unless you upgrade to their top tiers. QuoteIQ has a built-in tool called the Review Multiplier that automatically prompts a paying customer to leave a Google review immediately after they pay their invoice. After they pay their invoice on QuoteIQ, they're automatically taken to your Google review page to leave a review on your service. There's no setup, there's no integrations or added cost, and because it happens the moment that customers pay, the response rates are 3 to 5 times higher than when you send them manually later. So the Review Multiplier is a must-have feature, and it's included on every single QuoteIQ plan. Another key area that gets overlooked when comparing CRMs for roofers is job documentation. But for a roofing company, it's one of the most valuable parts of their entire system. Documenting your work isn't just about keeping records, it's how you can protect your business, prove results to clients, and build marketing material that helps you sell your next job. But the difference between snapping a few pictures on your phone versus having a structured, professional system can mean the difference between a simple follow-up and a liability issue. Jobber includes inspection forms that let you record job details and check off completed tasks, but the functionality stops there. It is very limited. You can't capture photos or videos directly inside Jobber, and there's no built-in before and after editor or centralized archive for storing repeated reports. To get full job documentation capabilities like image tracking, notes, and property comparisons, Jobber's going to make you integrate with Company Cam, which is not a cheap integration. It works, but it's another paid subscription and another login and another app your team has to juggle in the field. Housecall Pro takes a similar approach. Their platform supports job notes and attachments, but for advanced photo documentation and inspection tracking, they rely on Company Cam again, and that's another third-party integration monthly fee. That also adds cost and complexity, and your project photos, inspection notes, and forms end up split in 2 different apps, which just makes everything super complicated. Markate does let you attach photos to jobs, but it's also limited. There's no true inspection workflow, there's no before and after comparisons, and there's no reporting dashboard to store or access projects and save them to a customer profile, which is super important. You can upload images, but it's more like adding a file to an email than creating a proper job record. QuoteIQ is very different, and if you value job documentation, QuoteIQ is the software for you. It has a feature called QuoteIQ Cam, which is a full suite of documentation tools built directly inside QuoteIQ. QuoteIQ Cam is a feature, and it has a bunch of sub-features within it. Inside QuoteIQ Cam, you have inspection forms for pre-job check-ins and property assessments. You also have job reports that let you attach photos and videos to a job report, and it also includes a before and after photo editor that lets you take a picture of the service property, and then it overlays that picture over the after shot, allowing you to match up the angles and get the perfect shot for any marketing or client updates. The before and after photo editor is awesome. I use it for marketing and email campaigns. I've seen people upload them to their Google business profiles. I also love it because it has a built-in photo editor for annotations. You can add in images, photos, text. It's a complete photo editor inside QuoteIQ. But QuoteIQ Cam has everything you need to capture photos, videos, inspection notes, and signed documents. It has everything, and it's automatically stored inside QuoteIQ, saved to the customer and to the job. There's no need for third-party integrations or switching between different apps, or risk of data loss or confusion when you need to pull up an old report. That level of integrated documentation means every quote, every job, and every completed project inside QuoteIQ tells a full story. From the first inspection photo to the final payment confirmation, it's all stored inside one system, and that's QuoteIQ. For a service business, that's not just organization, it's liability protection, sales collateral, and operational efficiency all wrapped into one tool. The next feature is one one that maybe not every home service business might need, and that's recurring service plans. All 4 platforms do support them, but the way they handle scheduling and payment differs. Housecall Pro and QuoteIQ promote their recurring plans pretty heavily. You can schedule maintenance repaints, touch-ups, or HOA contracts that recur monthly, quarterly, or annually, and invoice and reminders are sent automatically. Jobber and Markates are very limited. Next up is communication and customer experience. So all 4 of these softwares can send job reminders, they can send confirmations, they can send on-the-way text, which is a text that's sent to your customer when you're on the way to the job appointment. Jobber includes these automatically once you set up a job in their schedule. Markate requires more of a manual input, and QuoteIQ and Housecall Pro offer the on-the-way text to handle this natively. So they all get the job done, but the automation level and control vary based on the software. Now let's talk about integrations and extra tools, and this section is a little complicated. You could say that Jobber's biggest advantage is its marketplace, or you could say that Jobber's biggest disadvantage is its marketplace. You can connect everything from QuickBooks to Zapier to MailChimp, but the downside is most of these integrations require extra accounts, extra fees, and extra setup. Housecall Pro also offers integrations including QuickBooks, Company Cam, and financing partners. Markate also offers a few, but most are the paid add-ons. QuoteIQ takes a very different approach. Instead of relying on outside integrations, most of its tools are built directly inside of QuoteIQ. That's why you don't have to pay for add-ons or third-party softwares to handle things like quoting, scheduling, reviews, or automations. Everything connects automatically inside QuoteIQ. And for me personally, I prefer the product that I pay for and can use out of the box, not have to pay for and connect add-on features just to actually use it. So how you view integrations really depends on that section. But now let's look at the features that are truly exclusive to each one of these platforms. For QuoteIQ, it's their InstaQuote, InstaSchedule, Review Multiplier, MapMeasure Pro, and QuoteIQ Cam features. MapMeasure Pro is a satellite measuring tool that lets you measure square foot directly from aerial imagery before ever visiting the property. They also have a virtual call team, which is an AI-powered receptionist that answers calls, transcribes voicemails, and pushes customer details straight into your QuoteIQ dashboard. It can also create and send quotes to your customer and schedule their appointments all from the phone. So that means your AI assistant can get a call, answer it, and get you a new job, which is just crazy to me. So yeah, QuoteIQ's AI call assistant is a really cool feature. Jobber does have an AI receptionist too, and it does have very similar functionalities, and it is included on their Plus plan, but that is $600 a month. Housecall Pro stands out for its consumer financing tools. They have open API access, and they have route optimization for larger field teams. QuoteIQ also has route optimization, but it is cool that Housecall Pro offers this too. Markate's strength is its simplicity and its affordability, which I know, but it's easy to learn and it's fine for solo operators. But for most advanced tools like online booking, review requests, integrations, and even an AI receptionist, those are all paid extras. Finally, let's be transparent about AI features in general. Jobber and Housecall Pro both have started rolling out their own AI assistants. These are tools that can help you with scheduling or responding to customers. QuoteIQ focuses more on its virtual call team. Right now, QuoteIQ's virtual call team only has inbound, which means that it can only answer your calls, but they talk about it having outbound in the near future, which will mean that you can have your AI call team do outbound calls. So you can have it call 300 of your clients and do outbound marketing calls, which will be really cool. But that's the direction that QuoteIQ is choosing to take, and I kind of like that more, but it's just up to what you prefer. But when you look at the full picture, here's what you see. Every one of these CRMs and comparisons can quote, schedule, and invoice, but how deep those features go, how much automation is included, and how much you're actually going to be paying for what is there is where the difference lies. Markate gives you the basics. Jobber and Housecall Pro give you the solid tools, but most of the time they're going to be locked behind expensive tiers or integrations. And that's why I think QuoteIQ is the answer, and it gives you the full feature set, everything you need. And as a service business owner, you need quoting, invoicing, review request, online booking, instant payouts, tip collection, e-signatures, follow-ups, recurring plans, and 24/7 call coverage. And all of that is built into QuoteIQ under one platform, starting at $29 a month, but you can unlock all of that for $189. There's no integrations, there's no add-ons, and there's no extra software. And that's what makes QuoteIQ the clear choice for the roofing industry based on features. Now let's go into pricing. Since we've covered features, let's talk about what everyone really wants to know, and that's how much is all this going to cost. So let's start with Jobber, because their pricing structure can be a little bit confusing if you don't look closely. They actually have two separate sets of plans, one for solo operators and another for teams. So keep that in mind when looking at this. If you're a solo operator, you're going to be looking at the three plans. Core, which is $39 a month and includes basic quoting, invoicing, and scheduling, but that is really just it. Their next plan, which is their Connect, runs at $119 a month for solo users, and that's where you unlock automations, client reminders, job forms, and some integrations. And the last tier for Job or Solo is their Grow plan for $199 a month. This gives you advanced customization for your quoting, workflows, and advanced reporting, but you still will need to pay for marketing add-ons and the AI receptionist. Now let's look at Teams, and the price is about to jump. So Jobber for Teams has 3 tiers too, and their first one is Connect, which is $169 a month, and that supports up to 5 users. They also have a Grow plan, which is $349 a month, which has 10 users, and their Plus plan, which is $600 a month and has 15 users. The only difference between the team plans and the solo plans is that their Plus plan includes their AI receptionist add-on and their marketing suite add-on, which I guess is worth it for $600 a month. And if you go beyond your included user limit, it's a $29 per month additional charge per user, which means even a small crew can add hundreds of dollars to each bill per month. So while Jobber advertises that it's only $39 a month, by the time you have a few team members and the tools you actually need, you're realistically spending between $200 and $600 a month on Jobber. Housecall Pro starts a little bit higher. Their basic plan starts at $79 a month, and it includes 1 user, and that's their stripped down option with limited automation. But the plan that most roofing businesses are going to be looking at is Housecall Pro's Essential plan, which runs at $189 a month for 5 users. Automated reminders, recurring billing, and features like consumer finance. If you want the full setup though with Housecall Pro, advanced reporting, route optimization, and their API access, you're going to need their Max plan, which is $329 a month, and that can go higher if you need to add in more team members. Now, Markate looks like it's one of the most affordable CRMs that you can get, but that is not correct. They only have one plan for $39 a month, and you can add on extra members for $5 per member. And that $39 a month sounds great until you realize how much of that is actually included inside that $39 a month subscription. Online booking, that's an add-on. Automated review request, you're paying for an add-on. Zapier integrations, you're paying for an add-on. Job documentations, you guessed it, you're paying for an add-on. Basically, if you want something inside of Markate, you're going to be paying for that add-on, and that add-on costs money, and it also costs a $10 integration fee for Markate, which just doesn't make sense for me. So if you want something like job documentation, which you're going to have to get a company cam subscription for, you're going to be paying for your Markate subscription. Then you're going to pay a $10 integration fee through Markate, and then you also have to pay for the company cam subscription. That's 3 different things you're paying for just for one thing. I don't know, that doesn't make sense to me. But each one of those add-ons typically costs around $10 a month, and by the time you stack up everything your business truly needs, that $39 a month plan easily doubles, triples, or sometimes even quadruples, which is just too much for me, and Markate is just outdated. I do not like their interface whatsoever. But now let's look at QuoteIQ. QuoteIQ keeps their pricing very simple, and they really don't price like any of the other 3 CRMs. And this is rare for the CRM industry, but when you pay for the top tier on QuoteIQ, you actually do get everything. There's no extra integrations, there's no hidden fees. When you pay $189, you unlock everything. But their beginner plan starts at $29 a month, and this includes quoting, invoicing, payments, scheduling, review automation, and their MapMeasure Pro feature. So you can measure properties directly from your phone. That's all included in their base $29 plan. Their next tier up is their Pro plan, which is $98 a month, and this adds in the QuoteIQ photo documentation tools, like their inspection forms, their job reports, and their before and after photo editor. And this also includes automated follow-ups, text messaging, employee management, client messaging, and email and text automation. And then there's Elite plan, which is only $189 a month, and this unlocks everything, which includes InstaQuote and InstaSchedule. That's the customer self-quoting and booking forms, along with mass text and email campaigns, some more advanced employee management, route optimization, and advanced analytics. There's no add-ons, there's no integrations required. Everything is built inside QuoteIQ, and you unlock everything for $189. So when you look at these numbers side by side, here's what you can find. If you want the complete experience, quoting, booking, automation, review request, documentation, Jobber Housecall Pro will give you that, but you're going to be spending $300 to $600 a month. And once you factor in team members and add-ons, that can go up to $1,000 plus. Markate might seem like the budget-friendly choice, but by the time you bolt on the features that you're missing, you're back to at the same price range that Jobber and Housecall Pro are at. So that leaves you with QuoteIQ, and I think that this is the best choice. You get the full feature set for under $200 a month with no hidden costs and no third-party apps needed to make it all work. That's why when it comes down to the overall value for what you pay for, QuoteIQ clearly wins this category and ultimately looking like it's going to win the race. But let's look at support before we decide a winner. So now that you know the features and the pricing, let's talk about how well these platforms actually support you, because no matter how powerful a tool is, if you can't get help when you need it, it doesn't matter. QuoteIQ has a resource center and a help center. It's full of how-to articles, guides, video tutorials, and it can teach you every feature features step by step. They also let you schedule live demos with their team members so you can see the app in live action with a real support team member. For support, you can reach out via phone or email, or you can reach out to their intercom widget and ask it questions. They also publish tutorial videos on YouTube if you're more of a visual learner, but that's really everything QuoteIQ does. Now let's look at Housecall Pro, which does offer some extensive support. It does have a help center where you can find articles, guides, and step-by-step tutorials on everything from setting up your company to advanced maps and job settings. For users on their max plan though, they do provide some onboarding support, including guided calls and training, and they also have support via chat, phone, and email. Jobber provides a help center with some comprehensive documentation, some articles, and some FAQs to help users self-serve their issues. They do offer demos so users can see how Jobber works before committing to the subscription. They also offer support via chat, email, and phone. And lastly and least is Markate, and their support is the most limited compared to the others. They provide email and phone support, and they maintain help documentation on their website, except that documentation is pretty outdated. They lack video tutorials, and many of their advanced features have to be learned by yourself. And for support, QuoteIQ, Jobber, and Housecall Pro all have really solid support options. Honestly, any of those three could be deemed winners, just as long as it's not Markate, because they are very behind in the support section compared to the other three. But since Housecall Pro has the most up-to-date videos and very in-depth articles, I'm gonna give support to Housecall Pro. So Housecall Pro wins this one. Now let's talk about integrations. And this is one of the sharpest places where QuoteIQ really eats the others alive. Like I said before, QuoteIQ doesn't really have any integrations, and the other platforms really rely on them. Every CRM claims integrations, but most lean on them as a crutch. Jobber, Markate, and Housecall Pro build minimal core functionality and force you to bolt on a dozen external tools just to match what QuoteIQ does natively. QuoteIQ doesn't really have any integrations. It does have a Google Reserve integration, but that's more of an added benefit that lets customers book services through your Google Business Profile listing. It's a really cool feature, but it's not really an integration. You don't have to pay for it. It's just included in your QuoteIQ subscription. The only true integration QuoteIQ offers is a payroll integration through Gusto, so you can pay your employees. But apart from that, there's a QuickBooks sync function that lets you pull data from QuoteIQ into QuickBooks, but that's about it. But more importantly, many of the features that you're going to hear competitors say they offer on their platforms actually make you pay for it via integrations, and those are features that are already built and included in your QuoteIQ subscription. So integrations get a little complicated. Things like client messaging, self-quoting and scheduling, property documentation, inspection forms may say that they're included in their subscriptions, but they're really not because they're integrations. QuoteIQ includes all of that. There's no integrations. But let's look at the list of integrations. Housecall Pro has a very long list. You'll see integrations with QuickBooks so you can do accounting. They also support Company Cam, which is the equivalent to QuoteIQ Cam for photo and video job documentation. They also offer integrations with Profit Rhino for flat rate boards, Wisetack for consumer financing, route tools, call tracking with CallRail, and email and text automation tools, and a few more integrations. The problem is every single one of those integrations adds another login and another monthly cost, and that's just more potential for problems and stuff not working. Now let's look at Jobber, who takes a very similar approach to Housecall Pro. They integrate with a bunch of different apps. They rely heavily on Zapier to bridge gaps. They also support QuickBooks for accounting, MailChimp for marketing, but they have a bunch of other stuff too. But here's the thing, when you want something like self-quoting or scheduling inside the CRM, Jobber does not do that natively. So they make you pay for another subscription like Responsibid, which has another cost and means your data is being split across two different softwares. Responsibid has an $800 a month upfront cost, and then it's like $300 a month. Responsibid is the equivalent to InstaQuote and InstaSchedule on QuoteIQ, so you could save thousands of dollars just by getting QuoteIQ Elite for $189 a month. And the worst part is Responsibid has a really good product, and it probably would be worth it if there weren't tools like QuoteIQ that offer it for just a fifth of the price of it. So QuoteIQ wins there. Since Jobber doesn't have any built-in photo or video capture, they make you integrate with Company Cam to match those photo and video documentation tools, so add another monthly charge. But Markate also connects with Zapier for custom workflows. They offer some integrations with QuickBooks, but integrations are just extra add-ons. Online booking, review automation, documentation, they're actually all built inside Markate. They just make you pay extra for it. So in practice, you're not stitching together multiple apps, but you are having to pay for extra stuff, which kind of sucks. Which is why I prefer something like QuoteIQ, and when you purchase QuoteIQ Elite, it gives you everything for just $189 a month. No extra logins or extra bullshit you get everything. So here's my real verdict. QuoteIQ builds in the features you need so you don't have to rely on integrations. The other platforms flex those integrations as they're a badge of flexibility, but they're really patches. Every integration you rely on is another potential point of failure, another monthly paid bill, and another data sync to manage. When you want reliability, seamless workflows, fewer tools to manage, that's where QuoteIQ's built-in approach becomes a massive edge. So for integrations, I'm going to give the edge to Jobber here because they do offer the most integrations, but whether you think integrations are a good or bad thing for your subscription, that's up to you. Me personally, I like something that's all built in like QuoteIQ, but Jobber is going to win the integration section. So after looking at everything, the features, the pricing, the integrations, and the support, the difference is pretty obvious. All of these CRMs can help you quote, schedule, and send invoices, and ultimately help your business run smoother. But there's really only one option that will give you everything you actually need to run your roofing business in one place, and that's QuoteIQ. QuoteIQ was built by real service business owners for service business owners. Every tool inside of it, quoting, invoicing, review automation, instant payouts, documentation, was all designed to solve the exact problems you face every single day. You don't have to worry about juggling multiple apps, paying extra for integrations, or upgrading for overpriced tiers just to unlock features you actually need. With QuoteIQ, you pay for it and you get it. Everything's built in. It's a CRM that saves you time, it makes you money, and it helps you deliver a more professional experience to your customers. So whether you're running a single truck or managing your crews, QuoteIQ is made for you. So if you're ready to stop overpaying for your CRM and start using one that was actually made for businesses like yours, head over to myquoteiq.com and start your free trial today. I hope that you gained some knowledge from this video. Thank you for watching. I hope you like and subscribe. Be safe out there, and I will see you in the next one.